Today is Pentecost Sunday. And yeah, it's awesome. It's the day when the Holy Spirit was poured out on the early church. It was 50 days after the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. And, it was essentially the beginning of the Christian church as we know it today. And I mention that because it's good to remember that, 2,000 years later-ish, here today, that we have the same power given to us that was given to the early church, the same potential for unity that they had. We have many things in common in the Lord. And boy, I'll tell you, we really need power in the Spirit today, don't we? Everything that's going on. I mean, our country is in bad shape. It may have always been this way, and it's just more noticeable now because we video everything that goes on. But, we've got the aftermath of the coronavirus that's happening and all the division over what it is and what it isn't, and what we think about it, what we don't think about it, what to do about it or not do about it. There's this man that was killed by the police officer in Minneapolis this past week, and that city is on fire, and all the looting and riots, and I saw on my feed on Twitter that there's like martial law in Minneapolis right now because of all this, and it's spreading to other major cities, and Portland, New York City, and elsewhere, that this racial divide is just, things are really, really tense. There's that's going on. Then we've got, I know that there's many churches that are opening back up today, really against state orders. Not here, but elsewhere in the country. I know of pastors who were told that if they meet and have more than 50 people, they're going to be arrested. I'm like, wow, what is going on here in our country? And I'm not going to stand up here and try to fix all the problems in 5 minutes. But I'll tell you what, we need Jesus in a big way. And yeah, you can applaud that. We need Jesus in a big way. And, it's really my prayer. I was asking God, so what do I say to our church today? Because you can't just ignore what's been going on in our culture. And again, it may have always been like this for 250 years. But now we know more, or we see it more. But maybe it is worse than it's ever been. I don't know. But Lord, what can I tell our church besides teaching the Bible, which is what I'm going to do here in a minute? And he gave me 1 Corinthians 13. That's the only thing I got. And so I just want to read a few verses to you from 1 Corinthians 13. It says, "Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up. Love does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil. Love does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails." Jesus said that all the commandments are contained in two things: to love God with our whole heart, soul, mind, and strength, and our neighbor as ourself. And I really believe that that's the answer. I just keep coming back to that, and the Lord just keeps showing me that if we love one another, we won't hate, hurt, malign, disparage, ridicule, we won't do that to one another. You know, I was an angry young man apart from the Lord. You know, I had a lot of angst. I treated people badly, and then Jesus came into my life, and he totally changed my life. And I believe that's possible for anybody. If I didn't, I wouldn't do this. If I didn't believe what I just read to you from 1 Corinthians 3, I would quit doing this. Because I believe that love conquers all these things. God's love for me, my love back to him, and my love for my fellow man, and it goes for everyone else. And there is a solution. There's a real solution, and it's found in Jesus Christ. And that's my prayer. And I would just ask that you would join me in praying for our city, our state, our country, the world. Like, it's a mess, but it's always been a mess. It's just, there's some really, really awful things going on right now, and the racial divide and all the things that are going with that. And I'm just praying that God would rule in the hearts of all the people.